Well, so I was just explaining that, I'm at a really interesting moment as a small business owner and founder, and it's a very, very successful business, obviously. But I found that there's a couple critical moments when you are growing your business. And just to kind of put it in perspective, we have 30 employees, and we also use a lot of freelance support in various areas. But that's a relatively small business. And what's interesting is the first hard thing to do is to find a wildly talented person to be your executive assistant first.
Oh, yes.
So that you can get yourself out of the weeds. And then the hardest thing about that is actually letting that person do their job. And that person expands your capacity by probably 20x. And for most of us that have kind of scaled a business and grown it, we're so used to doing everything. Like I still empty the trash. Like I was doing it yesterday. I think all tasks in running a company are extremely important, and none has a higher value than any other because they're all required to get the business, to operate. But you gotta, when you hire somebody, you got to learn how to let them do their job.
Yeah.
And that's not easy for those of us that kind of start something and then we have to do everything and then it starts to grow and then we don't let go of things. So that was a first kind of big thing. And the second thing that's really difficult is when you get to this point where all you feel all day long is friction inside your body about the business you used to love. And that was me. And that was me the first year of the podcast. Because the podcast was so successful out of the gate that I was no longer able to do my job as the CEO and being a partner with my chief operating officer, who's my sister-in-law.
Oh, okay.
I was no longer able to do that role well. How could you if you're hosting one of the fastest growing podcasts ever launched? And the role of what you do in talent or what you do in business development is very different than what you do in operations. And I think COOs and operations and chief of staff, I think that is the single most important job in a company.
Yes.
And it is not the glamorous one. And everybody's like running around trying to be a CEO and a founder and this. You want to know what actually makes a business run? It's people that execute. It's people that help you have rhythms and systems. It's people that take care of your people. And so it's very hard when you're the founder to go, I actually know that I can't get us to the next level because I can no longer do the thing I'm really good at and also serve this company. And so for the last year, I have been extracting myself from all operations because I suck at it. And being able to say to yourself, there is a particular seat on the bus that we're driving that only I can sit in.
Right.
And anytime I'm sitting in any other seat but that one, we're wasting money, we're wasting time. I am stomping on everybody else that's in the company. I have this saying that I learned from somebody else that I feel like a whale in a swimming pool when I'm in the wrong suite. I'm flopping around, I'm kind of jumping in, and I'm not letting the people that I've hired do their jobs.
Right.
And so it's been a very interesting year, and I offer that up because I know so many of your readers and the people that follow this brand and subscribe to this brand really have big, ambitious goals. And you are a subscriber of success because you know that there are skills and things that you need to learn, and there's a mindset that you need to have if you want to achieve these amazing goals. And one of the most important ones is recognizing that anytime you have friction in your body, in your business or in your side hustle or in whatever you're doing, stop.
Yeah.
Because you're probably in the wrong seat and you probably have not hired people that you need to hire so you can get back to doing what you do. I do two things amazingly well. Business development and content.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing anything other than business development and content, then we're not running this business correctly.
Well, from what I've seen today, I just want to recognize and congratulate you. Clearly, you have empowered the right team members to be doing the right things and executing their expertise, because the culture here is, thank you for letting me be a part of this. Thank you for all the growth that I've received. I feel so blessed to be here. I've watched that kind of community. So the instruction, take it right on the money, because the feeling is all here. Well, clearly you're doing it the right way.
Thank you for saying that. I can talk all I want about what we're trying to create here at 143 Studios and with the Mel Robbins podcast, but it is the highest compliment that you could pay me that you've experienced this culture and this warmth here. And the fact is, we launched the Mel Robbins podcast 2 years ago. We opened this physical office space in the downtown Seaport district of Boston, and we are still figuring it out. And we have not gotten I feel like we've been building the plane as we're flying it, and we're getting closer and closer to landing. And one of the things that I am working on that I want to share, because I think it makes a huge difference, and this is something that the person that coaches me says all the time: leaders bring the weather. Beautiful. Leaders bring the weather. And the single most important leadership attribute that you could have, which is something I am working on, is emotional stability and emotional maturity. Because if you're a train wreck, or you're too emotional, or you're taking your stress out on the people that are simply here trying to help, then you're going to impact everybody. And I personally believe that if somebody's not executing, 9 times out of 10, it is a lack of clarity from the leadership about what you're supposed to be doing. And so it's on me and it's on you, and defining what you want someone to do, not how they do it, defining what you want them to do and what success looks like. That is the job, and then you got to let them do their job.
Love it. Beautiful. That's leadership. That's incredible leadership. And yes, I did get to experience it here in just a short period of time in your culture.